What this looks like here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada.
Just as huge changes in elevations. Really, it's just a fun adventure.
320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Thundering up the leaderboard, 10 under par for the tournament. What a birdie.
Because if you hit driver, you've got to take it down over that.
And let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one. Just pulverized that golf ball. And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
Well, you're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
On the green, sure, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. This is a cross-country special. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, it still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
All right, Frank, describe the third hole.
Well, it's a par 3 with a bit of a tabletop green, Rich. Some bunkers right and left of that, but also it's going to play a little bit further. This tee shot is uphill, unlike the opening 2 holes. So a 3 here, and that certainly won't hurt the scorecard.
Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Just seems an absolute waste. Got to take your time.
This would be one drop shot for her if she makes it.
In the big scheme of things, that bogey won't even count.
Here at the fourth, 383 yards from the back tee. It's a dogleg right, but Frank, looking at all of those bunkers, you could really make a mess of this hole if you stray.
You can. That's why you've got to simplify it. Just something there that's going to find the fairway. Even like 3-wood and a wedge, that's really all this hole's going to require. Avoid the canyons on the left and in the desert, as well as just, I don't know how many bunkers there is on the right side. So a little bit of fairway up the left, find that there, and really you should be looking at a birdie putt.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
So this is where club selection becomes much more important. Uphill, make sure you have enough stick, and then swing away. Good, clean contact and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up.
This is an awkward length.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot.
No damage done. Made the par. Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that left, down that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels. Needs some sort of miracle putt.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Fairly long, 25-foot putt here. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. That is a solid par putt. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg right, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green, once again, that's anything other than flat.
Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day. but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. Stroke that with authority. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee. And
look out, that ball's OB, and that'll be a one-shot penalty. Third shot now after having gone OB.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. These putts keep the round together. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
And getting ready for the putt.
Rich, with so few holes left, bogeys are just that much more expensive.
That will really hurt his chances of catching the leader. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Well on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part.
It's at sneaky distance.
Well, a missed opportunity, no doubt. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Too bad, that's a bogey and dropping another spot on this leaderboard. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 9th, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Steeply up the hill here. This is going to play very long. You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Good effort and good par putt. Beginning the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th hole.
Got to be careful here, Rich. That desert ridge on that right side, it sort of makes that fairway look smaller than exactly what it is. This fairway is about the same width as all the others, so just convince yourself that. Good drive down here is going to give you a second shot, a little bit uphill, into a green that sort of slopes away on about a 45-degree angle.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Let's see what they do from a good lie in the fairway, 180 yards to go.
Rich, it's not all gone. This is where you can pick yourself off the canvas. Start to string together one or two good shots in a row.
Wipe away all the negative thoughts from the bad start and just try to focus on what's in front of you. Now on the green has about 10 feet left there to save par. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Good putt. On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards. Very playable, and you never know. Today might be the day where you make birdie.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
It's no snack, though. Now, putt for par.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Well, we'll never know if that had gone in because it never made it.
Trying to get out of here with just one dropped shot. This is for bogey. So that's a drop shot. Now to the par 5, 12. Pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many as 6s and 7s racked up here at 12.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. This has not been a great round as we head toward the finishing stretch here. You can tell the winds have really affected the shots out on the course. Let's see if they can muster something coming to the finish line. crucial eagle attempt on the way. She has this putt for eagle.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Frank, that is nothing more than a punch to the gut.
Oh, it's cruel, Rich. Good putt and deserves so much more. Another shot added, though.
I mean, takes the wind right out of your sails.
And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
There's still some time.
Measured as a dogleg right, so the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
Oh, not what you want here, Frank. Sit down.
This is out of bounds over there.
So just 150 yards in here on the second shot. Every once in a while, you're reminded this is a pretty hard game.
That was evidence.
Tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
So, Frank, with this approach shot, you need to put it in there reasonably close and hope for a bogey.
Yeah, and that actually wouldn't be so bad. A string of mistakes, and just to minimize the damage to just one drop shot, you nearly give yourself a pat on the back.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another one to the scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you and
yeah.
mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling too, don't you?
That is a double bogey. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
She is putting the full arsenal of her skill set on display this afternoon. Beautiful shot. These putts keep the round together.
Oh, painful lip out. It's a good putt.
Absolutely can't believe it. I thought that thing was stone dead in the center. Good roll. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
This is a good-looking shot. That is an excellent play. The approach shot within 12 feet.
Second shot.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole. Comfortably knocks it in.
Short par 4, 16th hole, measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there, and before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here, and it should set up nicely for a birdie. Are you for real? It was terrible.
That is brutal. That is bad. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good effort and good par putt. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward. And I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contacts. You have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's
Frank, what's the key? You just hit one OB.
Somehow forget what's just happened. Otherwise, the same thing's liable to happen.
Now, this will be counted as the 4th shot after going OB on that previous shot. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Good putt. Eighteenth hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee.
Frank, sadly, I've been there too often. In the water, you get down on yourself. What's the right way to approach this mentally?
Well, you've almost got to take a step backwards, Rich. This can add up so quickly. So give yourself a little pat on the back, say it's fine. I mean, you're human. You're allowed to hit bad shots. But the big thing now is to avoid 2 in a row.
Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Well played here, went straight for the flagstick, and she will have a nice putt coming up. So a tough way to close the round, missing a short putt and a bogey here at 18. Well done.
Yeah, so often we say the third round, Saturday's moving day. That doesn't always mean you move in a positive direction.